American, not American, but Mexican and all that stuff. All the top business owners, factory owners, factory managers, branch managers of companies, all of them were there. And I thought that was so weird that companies would be at something for the president. But he told that. And then they're in this position in the world because they keep their mouths closed. They keep their mouths closed. They don't tell people any of that stuff. They just move. They move and they do all that stuff, and they don't ever tell anyone anything. It's strictly need to know. And if if you're not the manager, if you're not the boss, if you're not the owner, then you'll find out when everyone else finds out, because you don't need to know. And because they play that really, like people used to say, close to the cuff stuff. That's why they're in that position. So yeah, but it's good for individual countries. Now they can get the money flowing. Because it's funny how like everyone wants to be in America, but getting all these places together, they just don't want it to be underneath one guy. It's funny how like all the other countries, they started copying America with having a president and stuff, but they never really understood how that would work and how that makes any sense, to have an entire country be under the control of one guy who's decided like every couple years, every 4 years. So, but they're doing it. But every country, we're talking about the future here. We're talking about the world. And I said that. Like, in the future, they have to choose who exists, who doesn't exist, what type of people exist, what type of people that they don't want to exist. And we already know that they don't like black people. So they're working on not having black people in the future. And I don't mean people from other places who share a strong genetic link factually and in reality, which is factually. Black people are only African people that were brought to America. They were subject to a lot of inhumane psychological slavery and just terrible things generationally, and genetically curated through multiple processes such as selective reproduction, and also just complete rape of the women, not the guys. It's a privilege for you to be with her, but for a woman who doesn't want that, who it's inside of her body, it's not a privilege. I don't want you there. So yeah, they're working on all of this. If you want to help out, if you care about Africa, don't buy land, don't buy property. Try and keep your business there as minimal as possible, and let Africa do what all of the other countries have done. Start up businesses in Africa, start up government services in Africa, and start doing what all the other countries have done. Once you start opening up businesses, you start focusing on your country, your native stuff. Start trying to grow native African plants. Start taking care of native African animals, and then you will eat off of your land. So you will start eating native animals. You will start using native plants as spices and all of that stuff. Why do I know that? Because if you pay attention to the amount of elephants that used to exist in the wild, and all of the animals that used to exist in the wild, and now you go and look today and you see that very close to half, and in some cases all they're cutting into the African wilds, and I don't know what date they have projected. I believe they have projected like 2032, if I'm remembering just off the top of my head, 2032 or 2036, they are going to have ownership, have them captured inside of a facility. They're going to have all of the elephants in there. They're going to have some lions in there. They're going to have, they're going to have some animals in there just to keep their native groups, but these are dangerous animals. They are dangerous to humans, and you can't sell off land and put people on it and put malls on it with these animals out there. Look at America. There used to be wolves, bobcats. There used to be all types of mountain lions, a couple different species. There used to be a couple different species of wolves. There used to just be a whole bunch of different animals. There used to be alligators, crocodiles. And where are they at? In America, there used to be sharks. There used to be whales. Where are they at? You know why you don't really ever see them anymore? Because their populations have been sharply decreased, if not completely wiped out of existence. Why? Because you can't have people living there and have these wild animals there. So they literally just took their land, took their food, and let them starve to death. And now they're not there anymore. And they're doing the same thing in Africa right now. In the future, there are most likely going to be no wild. They already have the plots, They're already buying up the land, and they're calling them nature preserves. Preserves. And all of the animals that are not on the preserve, they're being killed on a daily basis. Rhinos, elephants, lions. It's getting harder and harder for them to find water. It's getting harder and harder for them to find food. And it's people that are doing it. But the more money starts flowing in there and you want to go to these areas, if you go and start a business in Africa, pick one of the places where humans already live. And I don't mean on the outskirts, because you have a rim. If you keep working the rim is going to get wider. Don't go to the outskirts, in the middle of the population. Open up your business. Hire a security guard. You're giving native people a job. Hire a security guard. But don't go to the outer rims. Try and keep it as close as possible, because the more people spread out, and the more people that, no, I want to be in the middle of the African wilderness. Like, the wilderness where you literally have giraffes and elephants and lions that can just stroll through your living room. That's dangerous. They're gonna kill those animals, because they're like, the wild animals, they're acting like animals. They're acting like people. People act that way too. Get out of here. What are you doing here? You're threatening me. But you can't talk to animals, because they don't understand you. So they just kill them. So just be mindful about your choices. Just be mindful about your choices. Because whether you think about them or not, they still have their effect regardless. I don't want to see elephants under people's control. And then if they're not within this, it's open right now, but to keep the animals from getting out, they're going to have to put up a fence, and they're going to have to secure that area. I believe all except one of the elephant preservation camps that they have. But all the rest of them, they have fences on them now. So the animals can't even roam free. They are let out under supervision. And then when it's time to come back, they herd them back into the facility. So, you know, just be mindful about your choices, because those animals are going to suffer whether you think about it or not. So whatever time frame they have, true enough, you know, I'm not going to be around anymore. You know, you're not going to be around anymore, depending on when you're seeing this, but I mean, the plans are still the plans. If you don't know by now, by looking back to the past and realizing that every day for you is every day for them. And when you make a plan, just make a plan. Literally, if you had like a passion planner or something like that, or just a notebook, literally make a plan. You can see this, how it works in real time. Make a list and say 2:45 p.m. do this, 12:45 p.m. do this, 1 a.m. do that, 5 a.m. do that. And then pick a day. I'm going to do this on this day. Then all you have to do is look at that paper or memorize the paper. And then at that time, you're simply going to carry out the task, the planned task. And then just do it. And that's how easy it is to make a plan, follow a plan, and then you're still sitting there. You're still having conversations. You're still talking to people. You're still having conversation after conversation. But, you know, even though you're having those conversations, you're still sticking to the plan. You know, I'm having these conversations. We're laughing. Ha, 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 ha. But guess what? At 2:45, I have it planned out that I'm going to have lunch. I have it planned out that I'm going to, go home. I have it planned out that I'm going to. I have this bump back here. I have these gastro things that are happening, but I have it planned out that I'm going to go to lunch, or I'm going to sweep my floor, or whatever you plan to do at 2:45. You can sit there and have a conversation all day, but at 2:45, I'm going to be going to go do that, So that's how easy it is to make a plan and follow through with a plan. And you can still smile, and you can still laugh, and you can still do everything and stick to the plan. So, as long as you plan on supporting, I don't know what to do. Like, you still have to, support animals, maybe support the animals in, support them in, alright, you can support them by, don't go buy that house. Don't go buy that land in the middle of the African wilderness, because that's an animal's home, and they're going to kill all the animals in the area to make sure that their investment is safe. You and anyone else that wants to live there, they're going to kill all the animals in the surrounding area. These are dangerous animals, and they used to be vital for Earth's existence, to keep the animal balance in check, to keep things healthy, sustainable, and at a sustainable level for Earth, our biosphere. But as humans have made machines, they've gotten more involved, have gotten versed on what nutrients are needed. They're getting selective with Earth's future and their country's futures. The people that you trust to make decisions for you are all just deciding that this isn't necessary anymore. They're deciding that this isn't necessary anymore. That's why they also want to know what people eat, you know. Once they synthesize, like if everyone knows that everyone's eating, you know, cows, chicken, you know, and some form of a fish, like some form of fish. I don't even feel comfortable saying what type of fish, but you know, okay, they're good with eating these 3 things. Now we don't care. They're gonna forsake everything else. That's the type of earth. If we keep going with this, you know, not telling people. I want to like congratulate France once upon a time, because France used to be just like, you know, holding people to the same level, and now they're letting that go. And you know, France used to be like a safe haven for, you know, women, because since they could not do it, you know, the guys couldn't tell them, they couldn't force them. So, but now they have let that go. There was one other country that had some policies that I liked, but they're letting that go too. But the point is, in the future, you know, they need to. Humans are such a virus, and they're just trying everything to grow and stay around. And you need genetic diversity. You need diversity. So it's kind of hard to tell somebody, you know, how many kids they can have, because, you know, there are genes, and so far right now there's enough people on Earth that you don't have to worry about it, but, you know, it's coming up on the things to think about. You know, they're going to have to start, like, Earth is going to get to a point where they're going to have to start doing, literally, arranged relationships to make sure that they're not related, to maintain and to keep genetic diversity. They're going to have to do arranged marriages. They're going to have to set a limit on how many children people can have. They're going to probably, I heard about this when I was watching this science program, but they're probably going to incentivize, you know, pay people to, at one point in history, they're most likely going to pay people to submit their genetic DNA, so that way they can always make sure, so that way they can better keep genetic diversity around. You know, males are already, I just looked the day before yesterday, they're quoting so guys can submit their sperm. They're quoting guys it literally says, we will pay males up to $20,000, but the average person will get $10,000. The average male will get $10,000 to submit their sperm to a sperm bank, but they could make $20,000 by submitting their sperm to a sperm bank. 2025 as of yesterday, April 8th. But I also tried to sell my eggs, and they won't even accept it if I have not had at least one child. And I told them, I'm like, I'm a woman. And they're like, yeah, but if you haven't had at least one child, we don't even want it. We don't even want you to donate your eggs. And then they'll take my blood. They'll take my blood for, you know, $71 each, but it can be as low as $68. It can be it can be as low as $54 per donation. So let's go with the least amount, honestly, for my ease. So that's $150. That's $158. So that's $151. They only let you do like 3 or 4 donations a month. So they'll take my blood. But I'm like, okay, let me sell my eggs, because that's when we start talking about the thousands of dollars. And they're like, well, if you now there's all these roadblocks, there's all this stuff to stop women from selling their eggs, but they'll just accept guys in. They will. They've been caught in documentaries selling off way more than they're supposed to sperm to women, And yeah, it's just all terrible. It's all terrible there. So, I said that earlier, but I didn't finish my point. If you're gonna protest about anything, they still have not overturned women being able to get abortions when they want to. They still have not overturned women being able to control their own bodies. If males say, I refuse to interact with you, I refuse to talk to you, I refuse to do anything concerning you if we're not having sex, that means a female would have to engage in sexual intercourse in order for a guy to even talk to her in any other way. And some are like, they know women don't really have anything, so they're like, to even talk to me, period. So yeah, so that means you literally have to engage sexually if you even want any potential at the future that you want. The stereotypical the future that we all, like, as females, like, thought we were gonna have. We thought it was the way it used to be, but we thought it was as simple as, like, not having a penis. Like, do you have to try? Do you have to jump for this? No, I don't have a penis. Like, what? Like, so. But if you, like, even want a chance at that future, then that means you have to if they refuse to do it, so. But yeah, if you're not going to protest for that to stop, of course, women need their jobs. Women rarely get hired as it is, and we're easily fired. So I get you want to keep your job, but if you're not protesting for yourself, if you're not protesting for pro-women, then I don't want to see you protesting about shit, because women are in their own category. That's regardless of race or any other background, because females are females. So it's like females, and then you have every other type of male. But women, you're in one box. So, when a woman loses, women lose. It's not just that women are losing. And if you're not protesting about that, then I don't want to see you protesting about crap. Black Lives Matter was what black people once had to deal with, and it got even so bad that it was happening in public. So yeah. So yeah. But yeah, if you're not gonna protest about that, I don't want to see crap, because that's still a huge problem. Unless I say that if you're not gonna change anything, then we should just be people. We should just be people with the exact same opportunities. I think we should definitely change the law. No more at-will states. People have to prove that you're not doing your job. Just to help with the firing rates, people have to prove that you're not doing your job. But yeah. Then once we get it back to women being able to control their own bodies, then we can work on let's behave better. Let's not, it's so like, I get it, you're just so like, I just want this, I just want this, I just want this. So then you're just like, whatever he says, he's like, I don't want a female that does this. And you're like, okay, fine. You're just like, okay, I want this. Not him about what I'm going for. That's what I want. So then you just go along with it. But you have to be strong. Someone will take advantage of you if they can. Whenever they can, someone will take advantage of you. So you have to be strong, and you have to stand on your shit. And if you don't want someone to do something, then you have to tell them, no. You have to tell them no. Because if you don't, then all women are going to continue to suffer. We're not going to see true equality with genders, because why have males never done it? This isn't the first time women have spoken up for themselves, have decided to speak up for themselves. So why has nothing ever been accomplished before? Nothing ever gets done because women don't have the cards. But you still have one last card. The simple fact that you are a female. Which then the government would be forced to step in, and most likely, because they're just really selfish and they want to do what they want to do, the government would most likely have to incentivize males by paying them again, incentivize them to interact in a normal way with women. But that's not your problem. Let that be for the government to worry about. You need to worry about yourself. And you know how like women need to do that too. Like guys think of themselves as a group. Males think of themselves as a group, and then on the back end, on page 2, they're individuals. But on page 1, we're guys. They always say, us guys, But women, they just, instead of seeing themselves as one, instead of looking at what they're doing to us, they are just individualistic in that way. And I get it, women have to, because the competition to get guys is pretty tough. So you have to be selfish, you have to be individualistic like that in order to make sure that you get yours and you keep what's yours, right? If you want it. But, So, yeah. This is a big glob of information. This is a big glob of discussion. I hope I see some now informed from me. I want to see conversation. I want to see discussion. I want to see action. I want people to be like, yeah, we're going to focus on the populated areas of Africa. We're not going to go out to the wilderness anymore. We're going to try and keep those businesses, those factories close together, as close together as possible. Keep those pollutants as close to zero as possible. Where is that electric car? I'm going outside, I'm going downtown, and all you can see is just foggy. I was in downtown Chicago like a month ago, and I was down there for a couple months and also hang out around summertime. And when you're going to downtown Chicago, all you see is smog in the air. So it used to be gorgeous, because I've been doing this for many years. It used to be gorgeous. The sun would be coming in from there, and as you're driving in on Dusabu Drive, DeSabu / Lakeshore Drive, because I don't know by the time I post this or by the time you see this, they'll most likely take DeSabu off of DeSabu Lakeshore Drive. Just like I knew that they were going to take away that Black Lives Matter thing, because when they tried to put it there in the first place, they instantly went to start removing it. They could only leave it there, and so far they've made a couple commercials using the Black Lives Matter, and now that they've gotten other use out of it, again, you guys settle down, and now they've washed it all away, because that's what they want to do. That's what they've been working to do for the longest time. Okay, settle down. Sure. Bye-bye. But yeah. But the sun used to hit you as you were coming in, and it was so warm, and it was toasty, and it was comforting, and you were just happy and comfortable. And now it's gray, there's smoke everywhere, all of the air smells like gasoline, and there's no peace down there. It's like, it sucks. So, like, I actually am feeling bad, like, for, like, homeless people or anyone that's like that lives down there. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't even open your window because you'd be breathing in all of those chemicals and all those fumes every single day. That can't be good for your respiratory health. It can't be good for your long-term health to breathe all of that in. Which is why when I am on the corners, I've been remembering to make sure that I stand back away from the cars, just so I can get some semblance of cleaner air instead of breathing in straight gas fumes. They said that they were working on that car, that when you stop your car at red lights, that like the engine stops, and that way when the engine stops, the car is not letting out gas anymore. But I see that they just dropped that plan. What happens to that? You need to bring that back. That's less gasoline in the air, better air quality. And there are people that are standing on those corners that when you're just sitting there in your car and it's constantly going brrrr, that's them having to breathe in those fumes. But with this car, the engine's gonna stop, the gas is gonna stop coming out of the tailpipe, and no one is gonna be breathing in those fumes when they're just sitting there on the corner on a bench, decide they want to relax on a bench, or when they're waiting for the bus. So like, what's going on with all that shit? Like, get back to production. Like, it's like they got better. They started actually talking about and making moves to have better emissions, and then they just dropped it, and I'm like, what happened? It's not over yet. Keep going. We're nowhere near this. But I don't make cars. So so yeah, you just gotta keep everything in mind. Like, lots of people, like, they'll, like, you have idiots. I just tried to have, like, a educated conversation, and of course there was a moron in there that thought because, you know, the people of his group, because they pat his head and say, you know, ooh, you wear blue eye contacts, you know, that you must be something special or something. And, you know, so of course he just came in saying a whole bunch of dumb stuff, a whole bunch of lies, a whole bunch of assumptions, without knowing me at all, and without listening to me. And yeah, so I have a doctor's appointment today. I have doctor's appointments. I have one more coming up, and then I have more doctor's appointments. I have to make another appointment because I wasn't able to get one, and then I have some other doctor's appointments in May. But yeah, just, they started talking about that. But just be mindful of your purchases. Just be mindful of your purchases. And these tariffs are actually good for whatever. And also, I think it's funny how countries are like, America doesn't lead us, they don't tell us, and then America raises its prices and you literally do exactly what everyone said. You literally followed America's lead after a lot of discussion at that, like really pretending like you're just like, we're so upset, like you weren't told in the first place. But yeah, and then you literally followed America, and raised your prices. Just doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, it does make sense because, like I said, but you could just literally choose to stop buying stuff. Why do you guys have to play all these games? Why do you have to do all this stuff instead of just making a choice? You don't have to raise prices and pretend like you're mad and do all this dumb stuff. Just go ahead and say, my country will contract with this company. We will make their products for them. They can send their workers here, some of their workers here if they want to, but it'll be primarily people from this country making that product, and then we're going to sell it to the people of our countries. It's beneficial for our country to be the ones making it, for you to open up a factory. That factory can be, say you have an entire, like, a building that looks like an apartment building from the outside. One floor can be someone's factory. 2 floors can be someone's factory. And one standard size American apartment building can house like 3 or 4 businesses, companies, production companies. So, and since I've been going through my health stuff, I'm definitely thinking about my mortality and stuff like that. But I'm also thinking about the future, and the type of future that I want. Because remember, before I sign out, because it's already been an hour, that we, the people, no matter where you are, the people appoint people to make decisions for them. That's the system that we're living in everywhere. But people choose who goes in. People choose what rules are made, what rules get dismantled. People still have a pretty good say and a pretty big stake in that. It probably adds up to about 60-40. But yeah, so people aren't powerless. Your choices matter. They can have long-term effects on everyone on Earth, everyone in your country, everyone around you. So just keep that in mind. All right. All right. I've been talking for a long time. This will be my longest video on here to date. But it talked about a lot of serious stuff that I wanted to go into. I'm writing the first official to be published right now with money published magazine of mine. And yeah. And I'm doing a magazine specifically because people love magazines, but people don't have time to pick up a magazine. It's more convenient to be online, but I know that publication is very important, and publication can be taken with you. It can be held. It can be studied. It can be publication is also unchangeable. You know, everything's online, and what people like to forget about, no matter how many times it's said, is that media, things that are online, it can be changed. And now remember, AI, now even legally, they can change your words, the words that are coming out of your mouth. They can change the words that are coming out of your mouth. I've had it done to me on pretty much all of my videos. But I'm still just gonna put this out anyway, because my publication, my issues will go into detail or even talk about these exact same topics. But still, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do articles. I am the only writer and model, photographer, editor, everything for my magazine right now and for my blog. This is stuff that I've always wanted to do, and now I'm making my dreams come true. I am sewing, I am writing, I'm taking pictures, I'm editing, I'm doing all of it. And if anyone wants to just be a part of something, maybe you also have wanted to be a writer or a model or a photographer, or make documentaries, films, pieces, anything like that, then I can be contacted. When I post my blog, I can be contacted on my blog, and I can be contacted here. I don't want to give out too many of my social medias because one, I'm not there yet, and two, I'm also just simply making a video stating that you're interested and then tagging me so that I can see it. I can also see it like that. Also, but yeah, maybe you want to be a part of something. Maybe you want to write for something. Maybe you want to have your pictures publicized, your videos publicized, your writings publicized, and you just don't care. You know, you just want to write your pieces and you want them to be publicized. You want someone to read over it and choose yours, but you know, you'll just be happy to be there. You'll be happy to just be a part of it. You never know what pictures are going to be used by someone later on. You never know what articles are going to be used by somebody later on. Somebody may pick up my magazine or my blog or even this video and want to use it one day. Owned and distributed by Dark Lauren Johnson. So you never know. You never know. But just getting your stuff on it to be a part. Of course, you'll get all of your credits. Of course, you'll get all of your credits, just like any normal magazine or paper. In the bottom, you'll have your name or stage name, the date it was received, you can even, since I just, would like articles and stuff to add, so I'm not writing every last article, modeling every last picture, so you can, I might even just let you do a bio because I don't have anything else to write about. So this is like your time to be out there, but maybe you want to be out there in your way and not just some foolish way or making a fool of yourself online or something like that. So yeah, I can be contacted for all of that. I'm calling it, for right now, I'm calling it free and free. Whereas you're providing all of the stuff to me for free, but of course you'll get all your credit. For right now, I'm also giving out a free issue. So whatever issue that I use your material in, you can get one free issue of that. And if we're longtime partners, then just basically the first one that I use your stuff in. But as a partner and someone who's working with me, I wouldn't have a problem with you getting one free issue of everything that I use yours in, but I'm not going to guarantee that. Just from financials, with everything being produced by myself, I might not financially be able to give out a free issue multiple times, but I am guaranteeing one free issue for every issue that I use your stuff in. Of course you get credit, but now you can have it and you can see it, you can hold it, you can be like, here I am in this magazine. Yeah, I mean, we only have one life. When I was growing up, I wanted to do a whole bunch of things, but also fashion, writing is something that I like. Using my voice is a form of activism, a form of will. And it's the only thing that I can do right now because I don't have any money or anything like that. And it's just making me feel good to do it. It's just making me feel good to do it. I feel alive. I feel like I'm, reminding people that I'm here, I exist. So yeah. So yeah. I'm not worried about any issues because there's like nothing. But yeah. So if you just want to do some free work, it is costing me money and it's costing you time because you have to write, you have to take pictures and just submit the pictures and the writings to me. I read over it. It can be stories, letters. You can do politics. You can do cultural pieces. You can write about anything. I just read them and I say, hey, would this fit for my stuff? I can't ever see me saying no. I can't ever see me saying no. If I said no, it's probably something big because I can't see me saying no to any writings, but its placement in my magazine would be different depending on what it is, because life is existing and ignoring certain things is not going to make it go away or make it better. It's just you ignoring it and that's it. It's kind of weird because I hope to get old, but I hope that I don't get old, so it's all crazy. I'll tell you what, I want to be capable, I want to be pain-free, I want to live as long as I can, and I want to do as much as I can. Oh, I'm about to start crying. So that way whenever I do, in the very distant future, take that breath, that I can do it, that I can do it comfortably and calmly and happily, knowing that I put me out there, I put me on the table, I gave myself every opportunity I could. I got my dreams accomplished. So that's what I'm working on right now. Normal, regular dreams. No psychos. And if you are a psycho, just make sure you're not actively a psycho. in my presence and not for me to know. I don't support, I will not support animal torture. Because we've seen them, we've seen the animals. We know that they care. We know that they have families. We know that they have connections. We know that they feel happiness, sadness, that they care about their siblings and their parents. We know that they are just as alive and they are just as much as they're just as much as us. So, but you have to stay alive, so you gotta eat. So I will not support animal torture. I will not support female torture. Like, it has to be made like very clear that this is a willing thing. I need to hear it from everyone's mouths. Maybe even a signed off form. In addition, but I don't support modern day uncivilized human behavior. No uncivilized human behavior. Civilized humans think. Civilized humans have conversations. Civilized humans have agreements. So yeah. So that is that. But yeah, I am looking to do work, do some free activities. Free activities. And I need to get out of here because my doctor's appointment is really soon. They picked the most awkward time, 4 p.m. It's just so weird. And then I need to schedule a mammogram because my insurance is going to give me $100 for me doing a mammogram. So, yay for that. Yeah, today at 4 p.m. This practice is located at blah, blah, blah. All right. Bye. I'm also not, I don't know. Some people have to say it. I'm trying to, like, say it so people are just comfortable and understanding what I'm looking for. Maybe you used to live a lifestyle and you want to write about how you're not that person anymore, or write about how it felt for you, old, young. If I don't care, I will accept all writing, videos, media, pictures. But like I said, I'm my only editor right now, so I will have to look through all of it, pick a I'm thinking I would have like 3 themes for my magazine. So just pick some way to incorporate your stuff in with mine. And then, produce. All production is burdened financially by myself. And yeah, all right. I have to get ready for this appointment, and then I have this really cool. I have a couple really cool pieces that I'm working on, clothing pieces. I've documented a tiny bit of one of them, but it's just really cool. I hope I don't lose momentum, because if I'm successful in these, then the summertime is gonna look really elegant for me. It's gonna look really nice for me. Like I said, because of my health, I'm working on like losing weight or whatever, getting back down. I didn't realize how much weight I gained. I think that's what one of my articles, this is the first one in a long time, and this is the first one I'm gonna be able to produce. So I'm just throwing everything at this issue. There's gonna be about 20 pages. I want there to be 20 pages, just so there can be like a lot of different meats, like a buffet, something for everyone to pick off of. But yeah. Yeah, I think I need to write about like turning, like I'm nobody. No one's gonna steal my identity. Like, what could you steal it for? I'm gonna write about like being 29. I'm gonna write about just as much as I can. And then, like, I'm in that mode, you know. I guess you could say this is like I'm in fear mode. Like, produce. Do. Like, when you see famous people and you see people crying for them, and you see, you know, people don't even know celebrities, you know. They know that their job is to pretend, so you don't know them. But you see them crying for them, you see them talking about their lives and who they were and all these good public things that they've done. It's like, you don't even know them. There are really good people that have also done good things. No one's crying for them. No one is doing whatever. Well, if I'm still at regular person status, I still would be a regular person that has a long bundle to do a highlight reel. I already have like a mini highlight reel. It was literally me from, I started working on it at like 24, but I think I only have some stuff from 25 years old. So 25 years old, and then yeah, so I have a couple clips and stuff. Just so you can get like glimpses of me and what type of woman that I am. And it looks really nice, but so I think I'm actually gonna finish. Yeah, just being my own editor. I have to put it all together. I have to introduce it. What is this? And then post it. I'm going to the doctor today, so obviously I won't be able to do it today. Obviously I won't be able to do it today, but yeah. So yeah, I really have to get out of here. Alright, bye.